college has a universal message to everyone around the world. I'm married for 40 years to a woman who is even more famous than I am in India. We live in a very simple house in the village itself. And we have our own professional lives. She campaigns against corruption and she campaigns against secrecy. She started and got the Right to Information Act passed in India, and she has also been responsible for passing an act. A very rural poor man can get 100 days of work by law, and this is the only act in the world just like this. Turning point was when I went to a famine in Bihar, in the Indian state of Bihar in 1965. Starvation, people dying of hunger, people dying of no food. It's a very traumatic experience for people who don't have. That's another side of India I'd never seen, so I wanted to do something about it. So I started the Barefoot College, and I wanted to work with very poor people who had something to offer and to give. Barefoot College is one of the few colleges which is based in a very poor rural area, and it is a college only for the poor. It's been managed by the poor, it's been built by the poor, it's been controlled by the poor who earn less than $1 a day. And it is a college where traditional knowledge and traditional skills and local wisdom is given much more prominence, much more importance than anyone with a paper degree from a university. We feel that the dignity of labor is much more important than what you think. You have to act, and the action and what is required is reflected in the lifestyle and work style of the Barefoot College. It's a place where you come to work, no written contracts, everyone lives and works together. There is no higher caste, there's no lower caste, there's no boss. Everyone is a teacher and everyone is a learner. It is a place where you try all the ideas that you have to improve the life of very poor people. It is a place where no certificates are given, because certification is not the way to judge a person. The person is judged by the community you serve. We train people from the village who have no educational qualification to be doctors and teachers and architects and designers and engineers. All these skills are developed at the village level. So these are the people who improve the quality of life. We don't depend on any skills from outside. So we have trained over 300 grandmothers in 28 countries in Africa, and none of them have actually forgotten what they have learned. We teach them only through sign language. We don't use the written word, we don't use the spoken word. So language is not a barrier. Anyone who is illiterate from any part of the world can come and become a solar engineer. So these are some of the elements that make it unique. Can you imagine a grandmother who has never left her village in her life? She comes 6,000 miles away to a strange country, getting onto a plane for the first time in her life, coming into a strange country, strange language, strange environment, illiterate, and in 6 months becoming a solar engineer. This is incredible. The guts and the courage that these grandmothers have, no one can match. The most powerful way of communicating is not television, it's not telegraph, it's not telephone, but tell a woman. I think the answer is to decentralize energy right down to the household level. It is not to centralize. Centralize increases dependency. Decentralization makes you independent. Improve the quality of life of individual families and not communities. This is what we think will improve the quality of life. So a centralized top-down approach is not the answer in the future. a decentralized, bottom-up approach is the only answer. The vision shows the knowledge and skills of very poor people having universal acceptance and relevance and urgency. The consumer society where everyone lives within their means, where natural resources are not exploited for commercial gain, where you respect the sun and the air and the water and not abuse it, and only use that what is required and not waste. What Mahatma Gandhi said, the world has enough for every man's need, but not for one man's greed.